Hey, how's it going? Those are some fancy boots.
Thank you very much.
And that's a fancy piece of wood. We have a pistol grown into a tree.
We have a pistol grown into a tree.
Okay.
I found this piece at an Old West collectibles auction. I think it's worth more than money to someone that wants it because you can sit around and talk about it and wonder what it's about. I'm gonna ask $18,000 or $20,000 for it.
I'm guessing 1858 Remington. If you're in the Civil War, this was a great thing to have. These things weren't issued to you, you had to go get one. You were issued a muzzle-loading rifle, okay? You know, you got one shot in the stun. I mean, if you were carrying around 2 of these, you got 12 shots. You could shoot all day with this thing. A lot of guys had them in the Civil War, because if you carried one of these with you, there's a lot better chance you'd live. Is it loaded?
Supposedly, there is a bullet in the chamber. I honestly don't know.
Let me, hold on one second here. Let me find a piece of barbed wire. That one's empty. That one's empty. Can I take it out of this?
You know, I've never taken it out.
Ooh, that's neat how it grew right into the barrel. And yeah, that's loaded. The one in the chamber, you're never gonna be able to figure out. Every once in a while, people bring in buried or sunken treasure. But a gun that a tree actually grew into, I don't even know where to begin. I've definitely never seen anything like this. So, this is, a hell of a quandary. What in the world is it worth?
I want $18,000.
I don't think it's worth that much, but I have a friend who I really want to show this to. I want to get his opinion on what it's worth. Hang out a few minutes. I'm going to get him down here. I want him to look at this, okay?
Yep, perfect.
This thing is just way too cool to let it walk out the door without finding something more about it. Even if I just take it home and put it on my bookshelf, I'll make an offer. Here we go.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh.
Wow.
It's actually loaded.
Man, this is crazy. How did this get here? Nobody's gonna ever know, right?
No, no one's gonna know.
Well, there's a piece of iron sticking out the end over here.
Wait a minute. Wants to come out. That's weird. I just would love to. It sounds like it's in the barrel.
So maybe the guy was cleaning his gun when this all happened? There's just a million things with this. We have no idea what's going on.
Not that it really matters, but do you know what this gun is?
Well, I believe it's a Remington.
It is. This is a Remington New Model Army. They made them roughly from 1862 to 1875. This is a gun that competed with Colt, and in fact, if it wasn't for the Colt fire that destroyed the factory, this gun probably wouldn't have been produced in as great a quantity as it was. Colt was out of business for a little while, and Remington stepped up to the plate, and this became the most popular pistol for the Union during the Civil War. Really, really interesting. If there was a mint condition Remington New Model Army here, or this, what would you rather have?
I mean, this one's cooler.
Oh,
this
I'd
one's
take
got
this
the
any
story.
day. Oh, yeah.
I mean, and that's the whole thing. I can't figure out a price on this thing.
And I'm gonna tell you something. This is the one time when you're gonna ask me what it's worth that I'm gonna tell you, I don't know. There's nothing else like it. It's one of a kind. Okay, so you're not buying a Remington here. You're buying the chance to talk about this gun. It's just, I don't know. I'll tell you what I'd pay for it. I mean, that's all I can say. I'd tell you what I would pay for it. I'd pay $3,000 or $4,000, no problem. No problem.
Okay. I guess it's a starting point. Thanks, man.
Rick, thanks.
Okay, I knew you would love to see
Oh,
it.
I love it. Thanks for calling me down. And man, you showed me something I've never seen before, so.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you. This gun transcends the whole gun thing. It's gun-based, if you will, but this is more of a conversational artifact. Remington made 100 and some odd thousand New Model Armies. This is the coolest one on the planet.
Okay, so this is one of those few things that I would buy off a customer that I would not put it in my showcase. I'd bring it home. Because I really want this for myself. I think this is the greatest thing in the world to pull out at a cocktail party with your friends and talk about it. I'd give you $4,000 for it.
No. I'm gonna pour myself an adult beverage and sit around and tell stories about it and listen to other people tell stories.
It's one of the neatest oddities I've ever seen. If you change your mind, I don't know why it's so cool. I know it's... We'd take 5.
No.
5 grand cash for a gun that's basically ruined.
No.
Okay. I mean, what would you take?
15.
It's really cool to talk about for 5 grand, not for 15. Thanks for bringing it in, man. Really, this is, you really got a treasure there.
Thank you.
If you change your mind, bring it straight back to me, okay?
Thank you.
I hate having a cool piece like this walk out the door. But sometimes the cool factor and the asking price just don't match up. For now, I can just hope he changes his mind and runs back to the shop.
A guy came in with a really interesting spear gun, but I have no idea what this thing is worth or if I can even legally buy it. So I got my buddy Alex coming down to take a look at it. We've got an old blunderbuss here.
Almost. This thing is cool. Wow. So this was known as a Johnson SMG Mark IV spear gun or harpoon gun. These were really rare because the company only existed for a few years, and then actually the rights were sold off to a company in New Zealand, but it no longer had the US name to it anymore.
Gotcha.
There's a collector market just for these outside of its utilitarian use as a spear gun. So back here, you can see the maker markings. So Johnson was the designer. The submarine gun, that's why it's SMG, was made by a company called Tapmatic, which is Costa Mesa, California. So all of this checks out. No question, this is one of the American-produced ones, not one of the New Zealand ones, so it's much more valuable, and it's in excellent condition. At the time that these came out, they were considered the most powerful spear guns in the world because as opposed to using rubber bands, they used .22 caliber wadded blanks. So essentially, they were using the equivalent of a firearm charge.
Which brings me to my first question. Am I allowed to buy this?
I would say probably not. Now, the reason is the legal definition of a firearm in the United States laid out by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms is any weapon that was designed or could be readily converted to expel a projectile by action of an explosive is legally considered a firearm. Now, there are exceptions. Anything made before 1899, so 1898 and earlier, is considered an antique. That's not a firearm. So that being said, you couldn't buy it. I, however, have a federal firearms license. I can buy this type of thing, but I would really love to see it work. Have you fired it?
I have fired it, both underwater and on land, too.
Well, we have a range here out in the desert. I mean, is it something that you would come and do?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we'll have some fun with it.
Cool, guys. I'll meet you out at the gun range, and I'll be a happy spectator.
Awesome. Well, it's nice to meet you, Rick. I'll see you at the range.
I guess I'll bring my dad if I have to.
I think he'd like it a
Appreciate
lot.
it, man.
All right,
Thanks for coming in.
Corey.
My best advice for the shop is not to buy this because I don't want them in any kind of legal trouble by mistakenly buying a firearm. But these spear guns don't come up for sale often, and I'm pretty interested in it.
This is so cool looking. So this is a spear gun.
It is SMG 4-barrel spear gun.
So can you shoot a shark with this?
Yep, you could. Very easy.
So looks like it's all ready to go?
Yep, I just have to put the cartridges in and we'll be ready to fire it. It fires by .22 caliber nail gun blanks that are slid in through the breech. Then you put the spears down the barrel.
The spears would be different for underwater use, but for dry air use, we're using carbon arrows. To keep within the spear gun theme, I set up a large shark balloon, and it's a little windy, so it's actually like a bit of a moving target, but at least we get 4 chances at it.
Okay. I'm not gonna shoot that thing until I see someone else shoot it a few times.
Well, I came out here with the purpose of shooting this to see if it's something I want to buy, so I guess I'll shoot it.
Okay. You want to cock it?
So now the safety's off?
The safety is off.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna stand back a little bit.
Oh my gosh, this thing is awesome. Rick, you gotta try this.
All right.
But you gotta wait. I got another blue, and I'll put it up right now.
All right. I guess this is the safety position.
Yeah, safe as it's going to get, I guess.
Not like when I was kids and we'd shoot an arrow straight up in the air and see who ran first.
Have at it.
All right. All right, here we go. Oh, come on.
This spear gun was really cool, unique, very powerful, way more powerful than I realized. And it actually hit the target, so I can only imagine how lethal that thing would be underwater. I'm gonna try to buy it.
It's so Buck Rogers.
I've never seen anything like it. Alex, what do you think it's worth?
I did find a little research that one sold just like this about 10 years ago for $7,500. But there is no question in my mind after using this that this should legally be considered a firearm. That means I'd only be able to sell it through an FFL process, which is more complicated and it limits the market. So for me, you know, I would like to own it. I think that if I were to offer you $2,000, I think that's a pretty fair price.
2,000's, you know, very low. I couldn't accept 2,000. I mean, I'd be a player more in, say, 6, you know.
You know, I could come up to 3,000, but that would be it.
I do need to fix my boat. Could you do, like, 4,500?
It's weird watching this, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Doesn't feel right.
I'll give you 3,250.
4,000.
3,250, it's fair.
You'd feel really good about $4,000, I'm sure.
I won't feel good about 4,000, but I
Eventually you will.
All right, 3,500.
3,750.
Oh, come on, 3,500, you're right there.
3,500.
All right, fine.
All right.
Cool.
Deal.
Deal?
Okay.
You own it.
It was worth something.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have gotten a little more money, but you know, I'm okay. I can fix my boat.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it,
if
Rick.
you ever want to learn to dive, come, look me up and, bring that thing with you. And
It'll probably cost me as much to learn the dive as I spent on the gun.
Got a big gun I'd like you to check out.
One of those little Derringer ones, huh?
Yep.
Definitely really cool. Can we take a look at it?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, yeah, I mean, you can imagine why they made them like this and what the purpose was, right?
Yeah.
Didn't want people to see it. The funniest thing about these is most of them just are called Derringers because it just kind of became the name for a small gun. There is actually a company out there called Derringer, but I don't think this one's a Derringer. So what are you looking to get out of it?
I'd like to get 300 for it.
Okay, one thing I do know about these for sure is some of these little ones could be worth tons and tons of money, and they're really, really collectible. My buddy Alex is outside. Let me text him real quick and see if I can get him inside here. He'll take a look. He'll know everything about it, all right?
Okay.
So, tell me about where you got it.
A friend of mine gave it to me. His grandfather had given it to him, and he didn't want it, so.
Hey, Corey.
What's up, Alex?
Got your text. What, is that the special gun?
There you go. It's a big old gun.
Can I pick it up?
Sure, go ahead.
Wow. This is a tiny little guy. It's purpose-built, obviously, to be this small because it was really to have as a concealed weapon. It says across the top, E. Allen and Company, Mass. So this is Ethan Allen and Company from Massachusetts. He died in 1871. And this is a 22 rimfire Derringer that he was known to make. He only made it from 1869 to 1871, so it's actually a pretty rare gun because only a couple thousand were ever made. Now, the serial numbers on these are usually one on one side and the other's on the other. So this is serial number 174. That's actually really early. That is the 174th one that he made. So this was made probably in 1869. Wow. So for a collector, that's a nice thing to have a low serial number.
What do you think it's worth?
They vary in price. I do think that 22 rimfire is actually not hard to find. I have a bunch of boxes of it. It would be really fun to actually just see if it works. So it would be cool to test fire it if you're open to that, because I'd rather do that before I give you a value.
Are you cool with that?
Sure, yeah, would love to.
All right, well, I got some time here. Let's, give me about an hour. I'll meet you out at the range.
All right, cool. I'll see you there. Ammunition. 22 rimfire.
Okay.
And I set up a target. I got some oversized playing cards. The spirit of the gun is sort of like a gambler's gun or lady of the night, something to be in a saloon, you know, in the 1880s.
Well, at least you got the oversized ones, because we're not hitting the regular sized ones.
No, we're not.
All right, so how do you load this thing?
So it's a really small cartridge. You pull the trigger back, it locks, and then it's a pivoting barrel.
Huh.
Put the cartridge in there, load it back up, and then shoot.
All right. Well, I guess there's nothing to it but to do it, right?
Yep. So ears,
Ears.
nice.
Yeah.
Got it. Yep. Top of the jack, side of the queen. Nice. It fired great. It's in very nice condition. The pivoting and the loading, it was all really solid. So I think it's a great example of that.
All right, so what do you think it's worth?
$750.
Well, Alex, I appreciate you coming out, man.
You're welcome. I'll see you back at the event.
All right, buddy.
Okay, take care.
All right, man.
So you still want 300?
I mean, he said it's worth 750. I would love to get 500 for it.
You said you wanted 300 bucks, man. It's a novelty.
You can do 450?
I'll tell you what, I'll do 350.
All right, I'll take
Good
350.
deal? All right, well, I'll let you grab that, and we'll head back over to the event and get you written up, all right?
Right on.
What do we got here?
It's like a really cool blowgun I came up on.
Oh, let me see this.
No, don't touch it.
Looks like a peace pipe to me, man.
Yeah, man, it could be. That's what I thought it was at first. My blowgun's handmade from bone. I don't know how old it is, and I actually shot it twice. It's pretty accurate. So I like to sell it because got animals and kids and stuff around the house.
You know anything about it?
Shoots darts.
They're not poisonous, are they?
Not that I know of. You know. Supposedly it's made out of bone.
Okay, do you know what kind of bone?
Cow? I don't know.
I mean, it's awfully fancy looking. The only ones I've really read about are the ones they used in South America, like the Amazon. They've actually been around for thousands of years. They had this really weird process where they'd actually make the poison darts. They'd catch these frogs, and I guess it was the skin on the frogs was
Right,
really
poisonous
poisonous,
frog.
and they were able to make poisonous darts, and they would hunt with them, which is sort of creepy. People have been using blowguns for thousands of years. It's an ingenious way of turning lung power into a dangerous weapon. And in the right hands, they're absolutely deadly.
This still works. Do you guys have any targets?
If you turn around on the back of his head, we can draw a target on the ball spot.
You know, I can shoot one into the floor if you don't mind.
Let me see.
All right.
You don't want to blow like that. You want to pop.
Awesome.
Damn, that looks like it would hurt. Now, how much were you looking to get out of it?
Possibly 100.
All right, here's the problem. It's not that old because bone ages to a yellow color, and this is still perfectly white.
Well, it's not that white. You know, it's got a little yellow in there.
Okay, well, I mean, this is how new bone looks, more or less, when they carve it. I mean, literally, this can't be more than a few years old. You can probably pick this up in a market over there for like maybe 40, 50 bucks. I think it's just a tourist piece they sold.
So what's your best offer?
I wouldn't even make an offer on it. There's just no money here. If I do have stuff like this in the store, I don't want one of my employees accidentally selling it for maybe an antique, so I generally don't even keep stuff like this in the store.
Okay. So that's it.
That's it, man. Sorry.
I think it's worth $100, but, you know, that's his opinion, and, you know, I respect that. So I guess I'll just sell it on the internet.